18th for final round. It's probably the 100th time we've done an interview with Johnny Nelson, but it's always good. It's always good. There's quite a bit to talk about. So let's start with Ben Whitaker and Liam Cameron this week. A lot of people are asking me how I think it goes. I always say this, I like both fighters. I just thought both fighters turn up and give a good performance. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Liam Cameron. He's a Sheffield boy through and through. His dad's here, and I said to his dad, you know what, you should be proud, because the way he's conducted himself is commendable. And his dad, come back up to me after and say, you know what, I really appreciate that. No one's ever said that to me. And usually, remember, your child is a reflection of you. And so how Ben has handled this, how Ben has handled, he could have really switched it on and turned, been rude and disrespectful to Ben Whitaker, but he hasn't been. He's been well within himself and has enjoyed every aspect of what's happening. I think for Ben Whitaker, he's had to humble himself. And he had to humble himself for a couple of reasons. One, because of the reaction of the public. The public are talking to him like he lost. The public are talking to him like he got dealt with. And they can be mean. And what happens in our sport is the fans can be very fickle. And so what happens is those fans that are slapping you on your back and you're listening to all the good things they're saying about you, it lifts you. And there's one thing, if something bad happens to them, some fans are going to switch on you. That breaks your heart. So it either makes you or break you. And I think it's a bitter version of Ben there. Ben's not saying much. He's saying as little as possible. But he's hurt by the way the public are treating him. And so he's saying, all right, you'll just see. I ain't giving you nothing, you'll just see. And so it's made him, it's better he learned this lesson now than he did 10 fights down the line.
That's what we said,
world title. So it's better this has happened now, because to get to the next level, he's got to tighten his stuff up. He's now joined up with Andy Lee, he's got to tighten up his fight game up. But he's got to also incorporate it with his unorthodox style. The problem was he thought he'd go out there and just not walk through Liam and disrespected how good Liam actually is as a domestic fighter. There are other good domestic fights here in the UK for Ben, but this is that first one that makes us all think, oh, can he? Oh, will he? So if he's going to be the fighter, the champion we think he's going to be, then he should get this job done.
There's a lot of names in that lightweight division. You've got Ezra Taylor, you've got Kyle Davis, you've got who else you got?
That's what I'm saying. Domestically, but domestically, not every one of them will get a shot. But domestically, there are so many arguments that can be had. And the one that was the dark horse was Liam Cameron coming through to break the domestic clash.
But we knew that was difficult because we went to Liam Cameron's combat fight, blasted the guy in a round. Then a couple of weeks later, we fought on a DAZN show, blasted the guy around out. Then he fought Lyndon Arthur, was ringside at that. And that was touch and go in that fight. And we interviewed him that week. And there's just something in Liam Cameron that's like, he's dog, man. He's got a dog in him. He's
that's what I'm saying. It's real. He's not. And listen, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm studying anyway. You see a lot of fighters that have got big signing on deals, and they've been made very financially comfortable before too early. And what happens is that hunger is gone. And you've got to stumble your way through till you find it back again. I think Ben has got himself to a financial comfort where it's taken a little bit of his hunger away, and it's taken a fight like the fight against Liam to actually make him buck up and think and be hungry again. So in a way, that's a good thing. But you see it too many times with fighters, and so it's just part of the game.
Yeah, some fights can handle that limelight and balance it with the training side, but some can't. So
I don't think it's just about handling. It's about it's that eye of the tiger, and because all of a sudden, if you turn up to a fight, I think someone said it about Ricky Hatton's son. He turned up to a show in a Rolls Royce when back in the day, you'd all pile into a little minibus.
Catch the bus.
You'd have to catch the bus. That hunger, that want for the next level, it's not there. And I think Ben probably lost sight of that until the last fight, and now he's like, whoa, hold on. So now all of a sudden his trappings are not his focus. It's pride.
You know what? We just interviewed him. He was very open about that. He said, "You know, I'll be honest with you, John. It's quite hard when you're getting money, attention, this and that. Even though you've seen it all before and everyone's told you before, it's still very hard to deal with."
Yeah, it is.
And they said the best thing that's happened to me is my mum's took me to church. I found God, and he knows we're Christians. And he goes, "I feel closer to God than I've ever done, and I'm focused on what I'm doing." And I could see that in him.
Yeah, good. And that's what he's humbled him.
Yeah, he has.
So that's what I'm saying. So what happened in the last fight is the best thing that could have happened to him if he's going to be the champion we expect him to be. And he's got to go through all this crap, all the criticism. You know, he's got to go through it all.
Make him stronger,
to make him stronger.
Well, he said that it's better to happen now than when he's up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Talking about pressure and all the rest, you got people that have got famous dads in Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. and they've grown up around Rolls Royces and big houses and opportunities as well. And the next week they're going to go on. But I want to start with, because I honestly saw a big shout out to Spencer Fearon and Tony. I honestly saw the Instagram post. I hadn't seen the interview, but I know they talked to you about it this week. When I'm going to ask you the same question, like, what did you think about Senior's comments? I was quite disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed. It was a father talking to his son.
Yeah.
You know, we're all looking at as Chris Eubank. Oh my God, what's happened? You've been cussed out by your parents. I've been cussed out by.
Yeah.
We've been cussed out by our parents.
Yeah.
But it's usually behind closed doors.
Who taught you that? Did Karen teach you that? Who taught you that? That's disgraceful. I'm gonna stand in your corner. You must be mad. You must be mad. I would never be in your corner. You're a disgrace. You're smashing an egg in someone's face, and then you're trying to justify it. There's no justification for that. There's nothing noble about that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. That's what I mean,
So Chris is cussing out his son for his son's behaviour. He's not talking to him like a manager or promoter or a TV executive. He's talking to his son, saying, "What you do? You know, you're embarrassing my family, our family name." And so there's obviously other things that are going on in the Eubank household, so which isn't our business. But it's cost his son out for what his son has done in regards to smashing the egg in Conor. You know, and he's got to cuss him. We'd all get it. And so there's nothing wrong in what he did.
I get what he's saying. I just think it could be done behind closed doors.
But he was asked about. There's probably a lot more that could be said, but that's private. He was asked about his son's fight, and so he answered it. His son is making his own path, doing his own experience, making his own mistakes, good and bad, and to get his own wisdom. So I understand where his son's coming from.
Yeah.
Chris is talking down the camera to his son, cussing out his son. We've all had it.
Well, he said that his son doesn't listen to him. He tried to tell his son not to fight, but he's going ahead with it. So he's scared because he's lost few sons.
Yeah. He's lost, but he's cussing
Michael Watson. So
yeah, you know, he's saying,
he's upset.
Who's told you this? Karen? You know, that's
his mom.
That's why.
It's like, well, that's your personal business, man.
Yeah.
It's a father talking to his son.
Yeah.
And people are just forgetting that. So regardless, Chris still has hindsight of knowing what can happen. Michael Watson behind him, he knows how bad this. He's worried for his son. You know, he loves his son, but he's cussed out his boy.
How do you think it'll affect Chris Jr. though, so close to the fight?
Well, it will bother him, but I think Chris has shut the shutters in regards to his dad.
Because
I love your dad, but there's probably a lot of stuff that I said that we don't know about, and Chris had to shut it down, put it into a compartment. I'll deal with it. We'll deal with this at the end of my career. You know, but regardless, you know, and Chris Junior will know what his dad said, and it will bother him. I don't care what you say, but he's able to think, no, you know what? This is what I'm doing, you know what you're doing.
Departmentalised.
Yeah, put it into compartment.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a good point that you make there, because you just think like, because I guess part of me wants to see them together.
We ought to, but so I saw Chris about 5 weeks ago. He said, I ain't going.
Yeah.
Chris said, this fight ain't happening. He believes this fight's not happening.
He still believes it.
He still believes it. So we're getting close to that witching hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, why? And he said, I can't tell you why, but this fight ain't happening. I'm like, all right. You know, so, you know, I'm sitting thinking, well, what am I missing? I think.
What's going to do, though?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
We're only 8 days out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
what's going to do?
Yeah, so Chris won't contradict himself and turn up to the fight. I'd be very surprised if he did. He will watch the fight, no matter what he says to any of us.
It's his son, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? we don't know what he might do. He might change and turn up. You don't know.
No, I think
Yeah,
I think he said far too much to be able to contradict himself.
He's a proud man,
too
isn't
much.
he?
Because if he turns up, he might have thought, well, all these things I've been saying about my son, I better just turn up to make him feel better in this fight. And then
because
deal with it.
really,
You think so?
realistically, he's then condoning what the circus, what the promoters, these people that says they're trying to kill his boy and all this sort. He's condoning it.
What we're seeing with Chris more so now is the emotion with the Michael Watson thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, and how that's impacted him. You know what I mean?
That has impacted
cries
him,
a
but
lot.
he's lost a son.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So he's a father talking to his
he don't
boy.
want to lose another son.
He sees the dramatic things that can happen in our sport. So it's a father talking to his son. I'll keep saying that. It's a father talking to his son. Forget about Chris Eubank Sr and Jr. Forget about Matchroom and Boxer. It's a father talking to his son. He's asked a question, and so he's saying, son, what are you doing? You know, this son might not be picking the phone up to him. So how else can he get that message across to him?
Through the media.
Yeah. So he was asked the question, blah.
Yeah, we don't know the ins and outs of that. We don't know who's
Someone
not talking
background,
to
we
him.
don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's. Well, listen, it's only fight week.
Yeah.
Are you going? You're working?
I'll be working. It's going to be a long week. It's going to be a long week. So, it's going to be a long week.
Anyway, so it's a long week. So I'll be able to see the jacket, the blue jacket.
My daughter Teeth, man.
What tells the story?
Every Sunday we do Sunday dinner at
Right.
my sister's house. At my sister's house.
Yeah.
My house. My niece's. It's my niece's this Sunday, and I took my coat. It was a bit of a chill on.
Yeah.
Put it down.
She repping it.
Gone.
She repping it.
Jacket.
Jacket gone. I'm like,
Is she repping it?
and then I seen a picture of her on her social.
Listen to it.
She's trying to tell me she bought that. Now I know you can't buy these in the shop. I know you can't buy these in the shop.
These are exclusive.
Exclusive, man.
You
That's
can only
bad.
get it from these boys here. So you were outed. So it's for, you know.
If you give him it back, we'll get you one.
Yeah. So but it's oversized, so it looks cool.
Yeah, that's what hers looks like.
Yeah. So it's oversized, but it's the fleecy one.
Yeah.
Well, it looks good on it.
This is the new one, by the way. We've got the white ones coming now.
Yeah.
We've got the red ones coming as well.
You like the That's a dark blue and that's a lighter blue.
This is a different one.
It's lighter, yeah.
I like the lick. I like the lick.
The red and white one I had on yesterday, that looked good as well.
Red's not my favourite.
No.
Red's your favourite colour?
No, it's not my favourite.
No.
Really?
No.
He always says red looks better on black people.
Yeah.
No, not me. It looks like I'm charged up.
Is
I
it?
red eye. You know what I mean? It look like I've been on the cig of weed. So
Bun that.
Oh gosh.
Listen, Johnny Nelson has been sat in this room for like the last 4 hours talking. So
Yeah.
we're going to let him go. Because there's still at least one more person to talk to him. So we'll be talking to him on Sunday after the fights.
Yeah.
Where we'll be able to have a deeper conversation about how it went.
Yeah.
So peace out.
Damn.